What's up, guys? This is the Gospel according to Mark with a C. He is I and I am he. Just taking some time to tell you exactly what's on my mind. Thank you for joining me once again, my friends. Hope all is well with you. Now, guys, I don't do a lot of Star Wars videos these days because let's face it, Star Wars is a wrap. There's nothing more they can do to this thing. All of this talk that they do about whether or not Kathleen Kennedy is going or leaving or whatever, it makes no never mind to me. The damage is done and it is irreparable. It doesn't matter whether or not she leaves or not. She did all she set out to do. But I do want to do this video right here because I am requesting the assistance of some of my Star Wars scholars in the audience to help me out with this because I am a movie watcher. I didn't even read the books, the novels, and all that stuff. And this particular article that I read has got me to thinking, and I could use some guidance, guys. So maybe you can help me out to figure this thing out, okay? I saw this article on CBR.com, and I want to run it past you because it's got me thinking some terrible things, guys, and I need some help, okay? So the headline here is, the Star Wars comics confirm Yoda's greatest failure and why he exiled himself on Dagobah after Episode 3. Yes, the Star Wars comics confirm Yoda's greatest failure. Why are they so obsessed with highlighting legacy characters' failures? This is where they're stuck. Everything is about failure. Never mind their triumphs. It can never be about that. But anyway, it goes on to say, Star Wars, Yoda number 9. Star Wars, it's Yoda number 9. Star Wars Yoda number 9 drops a massive bombshell over Master Yoda's biggest error with the Jedi Order, fully explaining why he retreated to Dagobah. Now, this is something that I thought I had figured out a long time ago, but let's get into this, guys, because this is very, very interesting, guys, because listen, we met Jake Skywalker. We met Jake Solo. Hell, we even met Jake Kenobi. I mean, take it even further. In the last month, we met Indiana Jake. But now it turns out there might be Jake Yoda or Yoda Jake, one or the other. And in retrospect, this might be the first Jake, the original Jake, if you will. All right, so it goes on to say, all right, in Size Matters Not, and this is the comic, it contains a flashback story that reveals Yoda's most brutal test for Anakin. However, once that bit of history ends, the comic jumps to Yoda waiting for someone on Dagobah. Here, Yoda confers with the ghost of Obi-Wan Kenobi. As they chat, he admits he foresaw Obi-Wan's death at the hands of Darth Vader after Obi-Wan goads him to be honest about avoiding him. All right, so Obi-Wan is nagging Yoda, like, why don't you answer the phone? Why don't you ever pick up the phone when I'm trying to call you? And it turns out that Yoda actually knew that Obi-Wan was going to be killed by Darth Vader, okay? Let that one sink in. He foresaw it, but he let it happen. All right, moving on. Sadly, Yoda isn't into the conversation that much. So Obi-Wan is nagging him like a dumped girlfriend, and Yoda isn't really trying to listen to him. So Yoda isn't into the conversation that much. He tells Obi-Wan's spirit of his regrets, and admittedly, there are quite a few. Yoda is disgusted how he couldn't sense Palpatine and the dark side of the Force when they all worked together. He's even more upset how Palpatine corrupted the Senate and Anakin. But most of all, he can't stand the idea how he couldn't kill Palpatine when it mattered most in the Senate Hall. Now, this was one of the climactic fights in Revenge of the Sith, but Yoda ended up being the one fleeing. The old Jedi went into hiding thereafter, thinking the responsibility is all on him for losing the Senate and other colleagues in Order 66. As such, Yoda believes the galaxy would be better off without him. Now, why does that sound familiar? Let's see. We had Luke Skywalker in The Last Jedi, who was hiding out because he felt like the universe and the galaxy was going to be better off without him. We had Obi-Wan Kenobi, who we were led to believe was suffering from PTSD, or post-traumatic stress syndrome, because he felt like he failed, right? We had, let me see, Jake Solo, who also left Leia and Luke and the rebellion and everybody else because he felt like he failed his son. And we had, of course, Indiana Jake, who begged to die by the end of that movie. So this is where we are. Our legacy characters, we feel, or we're being led to believe, feel like the galaxy, the world would be better off if they were never around. Now, isn't this, if you will, a case of the authors and the writers projecting themselves into the story? This is where the disrespect comes in, guys, because they have the nerve to actually put out there for our imagination, if we even want to imagine this, that we would all be better off without these people. All right, without all of these heroes, we'd be better off if they never even existed. Okay, so Yoda believes the galaxy would be better off without him, ergo his desire for self-exile. The burden pained Yoda since, but he felt it was necessary due to him blighting the cosmos. As cruel as it is, he does have a point. But moving forward, it's clear Obi-Wan will try to advise him that he's not the curse he thinks he is. Wow. Now, while Yoda is in this web of self-loathing and brimming with disappointment, it's worth remembering what eventually happens. This actually made me laugh out loud. Without Yoda, there'd be no Qui-Gon Jinn and Count Dooku, which means no matter what, Yoda is a vital domino in the chain effect. For better or worse, Yoda's doctrines gave rise to Obi-Wan Kenobi and Anakin as well. This created Darth Vader, but it paved the path for Luke. And by extension, Rey. Oh God, I almost choked it. Listen, so the point is that if Yoda hadn't been such a massive, monumental failure, we would have never gotten Rey. So that's what it was all about. It was all about Rey. So Yoda's failure led to Qui-Gon Jinn's failure, which led to Obi-Wan's failure, which led to Luke's failure, which gave rise to Rey. And of course, Rey is here to clean up all of it. All right, Luke couldn't deal, or I missed Anakin's failure too, but Luke could not get rid of Palpatine. He couldn't get rid of him, but Rey was able to do that. Luke could not rebuild the Jedi Order, but we're going to be led to believe that Rey is going to be able to do this. So all of the failures of our favorite Jedi before have led to the savior of it all, which would be Rey, or as Finn would say, Rey! And so that made it all worthwhile. But guys, what it really had me thinking about after a while, I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, man, so when you really think about it, Yoda could have been the first Jake because he was hiding out in much the same way as we saw Jake Skywalker. He was disillusioned, he was guilty, and while he was hiding out, we're led to believe that he did nothing. I hate myself for even thinking this stuff, but we're led to believe he did nothing as the Empire rose, as they enslaved the galaxy, as they blew up planets. And now we're told that all of these people survived Order 66. So the Jedi, according to these people, by their logic and their narrative, the Jedi were just a bunch of bitches, basically, because it turns out there was a whole bunch of them that survived Order 66, but all of them just laid low like a bunch of Jakes. So they're no longer the Jedi, they're the Jakes. All of them are the Jakes because they all, not one of them, according to their canon, Disney canon, and Star Wars now in the hands of the people who are writing it, none of them dared to do anything while Darth Vader and Palpatine were enslaving the galaxy. So under the leadership, and I put that in quotes, of Yoda, they were all a bunch of biatches. They were all a bunch of Jakes. So that would mean that Yoda, I dare say, I feel like biting my tongue, would be the first Jake, the original Jake. He's everything that we saw in Jake Skywalker and Jake Kenobi and Indiana Jake and and Jake Solo. You know what I mean? It's like it's a wash, guys. This is what they're doing to our heroes. And I just wanted to put it out there because I don't like thinking this, right? So I'm wondering, from all of my Star Wars scholars out there, what do you make of that? What do you make of not only the fact that it's not bad enough that Yoda foresaw the death of Obi-Wan Kenobi, but let it happen, but he also saw the rise of the Empire. He also saw the enslavement of the galaxy, and we're led to believe that he hid. Now, after all of these years, right, I always assumed that for some mythical reason, it was understood that it was going to be Luke's destiny to face Darth Vader and to defeat Palpatine. But once again, Disney's canon destroyed all of that by having Palpatine live so that Rey could take care of Palpatine. So all of it was for naught. So I have no choice, based upon the shreds that they're giving us now, than to believe that Yoda was nothing more than Jake Yoda. And then when I thought about it, I'm like, you know something? Yoda spelled backwards is Jake. It's really not. But I'm just saying, guys, I mean, as long as we're reaching, why not draw that conclusion as well, right? But there it is, guys. What an absolute mess, an absolute sewage system they've made of our beloved Star Wars. Guys, please help me out. Help me to make sense of all of this. Is any of this at all holding any water? Star Wars scholars, come in, let me know, guys. I'm part of this community. Like I said, I'm not the biggest scholar, but I share your love and your passion for Star Wars, and I really want to make some sense of this, guys. So please, get in the comment section. Let me know what you think about all of this. And as always, guys, I thank you for watching me. YouTube, I don't even know what to say about YouTube anymore. Eventually, I think I'm just going to jump over to Rumble. Maybe I'll just shut this shit down because YouTube is seriously, seriously stifling my channel, and it's been that way for a very, very long time. I don't want to whine and bitch about it because I know people will be like, stop whining and bitching. All right, I'm not going to do it. But at the same time, guys, you know it doesn't make any damn sense, my channel growth or lack thereof. You know what I mean? It's just ridiculous. But anyway, guys, until then, those of you who do come by, who do see me, who do comment, who do leave the super thanks, who do share your messages of support and respect and love, I give that back to you. I love you guys, and I thank you guys for hanging in there with me for all of these years. All right, guys, once again, thank you, and I will see you on the next one. This is The Gospel According to Mark with a C. Rock on.